My people.
What's up?
What up? The rodeo's done, bro.
Finally.
Yeah,
I was in that thing.
what's your takeaway with 2023's rodeo?
Oh, 2023's rodeo. It was a good time. I'll say that. Yesterday was the first time I went to the carnival. I tried all the fried stuff just because I've never had it, actually.
Really?
So,
Fried Twinkie, fried
Oreo,
Snicker, fried
cheesecake. Yeah.
Yeah? What was the best?
On corn dog. I'll be honest, the fried Oreo tasted exactly like a funnel cake.
Really?
Yeah, I love funnel cakes.
I'm a funnel cake guy.
It tasted the same. There was no real difference.
Right.
Maybe there was a hint of chocolate in there.
They put a little powder on it? A little powder?
Yeah. I would definitely just get a funnel cake though. 'Cause it all tastes the same. But I like that about the rodeo.
Yeah.
I was gonna try to get a trio burger, but
Lying.
ridiculous.
I'm gonna just wait till he open because he's opening in Upper Kirby area, I think, Montrose area.
I can't remember.
I think it was James Coney Island. So
I got you.
Yeah.
We went to the rodeo once. Your takeaway?
I loved it. Had a great time. It was a funny night. It was interesting. I kept seeing people that may have known me. There was like 3 to 5 people that day stopped me, and I had fun with that. But we went the night, Heritage Night, and seen Bun B. I was able to party with my boy Jay.
Oh yeah.
I showed him my age because he didn't know some of the songs, but I definitely knew them.
It's like, oh man.
He out. But no, great year, man. Looking forward to finishing up first quarter, going into the second.
Yep.
We're still in the series, mindset of an athlete.
Yes, sir.
What do we got today, man?
Today we're gonna take a deep dive into the mind of an athlete. Last week we talked a little bit about winning.
Okay.
So I think this would be a good segue into today's episode, which we're gonna talk about being able to win with completely different mindsets.
What do you think when you say completely mindsets? What do you mean by that?
So everybody has let's just put championships into perspective, right?
Okay.
Everybody is driven to win a championship. But I don't believe there's a singular championship mindset.
So different people win different ways.
Yes.
All right. What sport we starting with?
Well, today I wanted to talk about basketball was the first thing that came to mind. Ooh.
Hey.
So we have the championship mentality of whatever. I want to talk about the most popular one, right, that we know of. And that's the Mamba mentality.
The Mamba mentality.
Right? The Mamba mentality. So a lot of people talk about that, and there are a lot of things that go into that. So when Mamba mentality, what's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear that?
For me, killer instinct. I believe in effort over excuse. I believe in perseverance, being resilient. I believe taking no is not an answer that you're going to accept. So when I think of Mamba mentality, I think that pops up first.
Cool. That's a good segue into the second portion of this. So, the GOAT conversation is always a good one when it comes to basketball.
Right? All time, guys.
Everybody has their own GOAT, to be honest.
It's tough.
Their own GOAT of their era. But two that go on the top, obviously, Michael Jordan. I feel like when it comes to Mamba mentality, I feel like Michael Jordan fits into all of that, right? I feel like it was shaped around him. So I'm not separating those two. Okay. Because I feel like that mentality was the same. Yeah. Right. But I feel like LeBron is different. I don't think people look at LeBron and say LeBron has a Mamba mentality.
Why would you say that?
Because when it comes to Kobe, I feel like, especially when it came to basketball specifically, when the game was on the line, everybody knew give the ball to Kobe. Yeah. Kobe's gonna win this game. Give it to Kobe. Mamba mentality, right? Kobe, here, you handle it. Get out of Kobe's way. Yeah. That I'm taking over. I'm that guy. Mamba mentality. I feel like LeBron is not that. And I feel like when it comes to a championship, everybody wants LeBron to be that because that's what they're used to, right? I agree. That's the GOAT because we got to give him the ball. That's who's going to win it. Yeah. But LeBron is going to we're still going to win that game, but he might not be the person that takes the shot because he's going to set up a teammate to be in a good position to make that shot. And I feel like that's what he's always been. Now, that being said, I do think LeBron is up there with most clutch game-winning shots, actually, and people don't give him credit for that. But at the same time, he's also putting so many other players into positions to make the shot that we now have conversations oh, LeBron wouldn't have won that game if it wasn't for Ray Allen. Oh, XYZ wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for
absolutely.
Was it Kyrie Irving?
Mm-hmm.
But it's, like I said, it's because when it comes to his style of winning, it's not necessarily the ball has to be in his hands.
I like this
for him to win.
I like this.
So
I like this.
That's why I don't think he would be considered that Mamba mentality, and it's a different style of winning.
I like
if that
this.
makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's when you think of, I'm thinking fitness, right? There are so many people that win in so many different ways. The way that Jared wins is totally different from the way that I've won, and the way that Pauletta wins is totally different from the way that Mui wins, right? So I definitely want to dive into that aspect. But for me, fitness, basketball-wise, I'm an 80s baby, so I'm going to give that crown to Mike. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. But LeBron, for me, is on my Rushmore of top 3 of all time. And the reason I like the way that he won. I like the way that he won on the court, and I also like the way that he's winning off the court. And I think character for me is a big thing. If I was to pick a teammate, 100%, I'm picking LeBron. I love being on teams where, again, we don't know LeBron personally. Yeah. But outside looking in, I feel like he's the teammate that I would want to play for, that I would run through a brick wall for, because, number one, I might get the ball, right?
Yep.
But number two, the team aspect of, there's so many factors of winning a championship. It's not just what you experience on the court. It's also how do you hang out outside of the court, and also is making jump shots the only way that you win the game? Does defense make a play? Does chasing somebody down to block a shot, will that win a game? Making the right pass, or making the right pass during the regular season to give people the confidence to make the shot during the playoffs or the championship. So many facets of it, but absolutely, Mike, Rushmore, LeBron's there. But now I'm curious, Jared, how do people win in the gym differently versus doing it the way that Jared did it? And is that good or is that bad?
I think that the gym is a great example because just like sports, everybody has their own abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, people are different shooters, right? I feel like I'm going to keep it in basketball terms. There's a reason we have guards and centers, right?
Mm-hmm.
A center can dominate, but they dominate in the paint.
That's good.
And then you have guards like Steph who dominates. Not only can he, do things in the paint, but mostly
that boy's a bad boy.
Those threes, right? The shooting.
Yeah.
He dominates at shooting.
Yeah.
So I believe there are different aspects that contribute to winning. So, like I said, the gym is a great example. Coming into the gym, man, some of y'all are winners because of the energy that you bring.
That's
right?
a good one.
Like
y'all comment that down below. Winners, yeah.
Absolutely. Like some of y'all walk into the gym and the smile that you present to people, the warmth that you present to people.
Would you want to go to class because of that, or not go to class?
Absolutely.
So that's LeBron.
Yeah.
So the person that comes into the gym that's approachable, nice, supportive, positive, encouraging, empowering, that's LeBron.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want to be around you.
Okay.
I want to. Let's put today an example. So if y'all don't know, like I don't come to the gym. Well, I come twice a month in the evening classes. But when I come, I'm excited about that because of the people that I know I'm gonna see in the evening times that I know I don't see. The smiles that I know I'm gonna see. The high fives, the hugs, the crap talking I'm gonna get from some of y'all.
Absolutely.
Like the energy that I know I'm gonna get it's a win. Like it's a winning environment that I enjoy being around. That I only get to experience twice a month. But those times I do, it's like I can't wait.
Thing.
So that's what I mean. Like y'all win that way. And then I would say the second one is my head down folks. Like y'all win too.
Absolutely.
Because when people get out of their cars, some of us might not be ready to work out. Honestly. We just got off work, just had a long day. We might come in here like, dang, let me go get this workout in. And then some of us, we'll come in, we'll hear the music, and we'll experience the other winners, the ones I just mentioned, the smiles, the XYZ. But that doesn't necessarily mean, okay, now I'm ready to work out.
Yeah.
But then, you start your workout, and let's just say you're working across from one of our head down individuals that we're explaining the workout. You say go run, we go outside, and I'm just taking this little jog and pace, and they take off.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's see. All right, they're gonna push the pace today. And if you're a competitor, obviously, or somebody that wants to push yourself, when you see somebody else pushing themselves, you probably follow suit. So, yeah, those head-down individuals, the ones that are just going to work their butts off, come in, get it done. You might, smile, share a face, but you came in here to get that work in. Yeah, putting extra weight on. Like, y'all really don't know how contagious that is.
Oh, yeah. When they slap that extra 2.5 on or the extra 10-pound bumper or grab that extra set of dumbbells.
Yeah, there's a contagion both ways, I believe. If you're one of those people that's like, I'm going to call them out. If you're one of my Damians, who say, no matter how many times you tell me, I ain't putting no extra weight on there. Or if you are, one of my people that are constantly just trying to put weight on to get stronger, that's contagious. Both ways. So, yeah.
I like that, man. And when you think, okay, going back to the whole series, right, the mindset of an athlete, specifically talking about different ways that different people win. I've been a part of some really good teams, Jay, but I've also been on some bad teams.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that the teams that were bad, they kind of were all like-minded.
That's true.
The teams that I've been on that succeeded, everybody couldn't be, I'm going to put my head down and just go to work, right, as I look in the parking lot, just making sure. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, so everybody can't be I put my head down and everybody work the same. Or everybody can't be the cheerleader. Yeah. Everybody, I noticed the teams that I was on, they were really balanced very well. And because there are days, like you said, man, I think I'm more of a cheerleader, I think, when it comes to a teammate. I like to cheer people on and encourage them. And for me to come in the gym and not speak and just work, that'll look really odd to a lot of people, right? But I get so much fuel from that person that comes in and do that.
Yeah.
It's just so encouraging. It's so motivating when I see. It's like I'm trying to think of somebody that puts their head down and just go to work. The first person that comes to me, I can't think of nobody. Wendy. Wendy puts her head down and she gets after, but she's still so approachable.
Yeah.
But until you meet her, you're like, oh, she just goes to work and she works really hard. But when I see Wendy, to me, she's typically like in spot 6 or 7 or 8 in that corner. And I see her, especially like deadlift days when she's loading up that weight.
Yeah.
I'll look and be like, okay, I got to obviously lift more than Wendy because it's a roll code, right?
Exactly.
And then second of all, because I see she's not making excuses or complaining about the workout, because it's normal for people to come in the gym and be like, oh, I don't want to do that, or oh, that's going to be hard. And she's kind of like, I'm about to crush it.
Yeah.
I like this hard workout. I need that sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that penetrates to a lot of things that I deal with personally. Some days, man, I don't feel like being a husband.
Yeah.
And when I say, I'm not saying leave my marriage. Don't take that out of contact. But I mean that by sometimes it's hard. It's hard to deal with life situations as a husband. When you have to deal with certain holidays, sometimes that's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard being a parent, right? There are things that we have to sacrifice. I noticed that on the 25th, I have one of my close friends has a kid birthday party. He always comes supports my kid. We have a soccer game that same day. It seemed like we got something else. Then we got a Mean Green dodgeball. Mm-hmm. My best friend's having a year anniversary of his daiquiri shop. I'm supposed to be
everywhere
in the same hour, and that's difficult.
Yeah.
But sometimes I need that person that's like, you can do it. Come on, bro. Like, make your schedule.
Yeah.
Be here first. Go there second. Go there third. Man, I'm going to be tired. Man, you'll be all right. You got to sleep at night. Like, I need that, and I think that's what winning teams have, and that's the mindset that I long for.
I think that's dope.
What about you?
I did want to hit on the first thing you said in that statement. You were like, basically, what did you say?
I don't remember.
I had it.
I don't remember. What was it? The first thing I said, I think I said something to the point of different people on the team. Mm-hmm. You have that put your head down people. You got the people that work. I've been a part of good teams, bad teams. Still not ringing.
I had it.
I got to comment down below because I forgot.
It's all right.
I forgot.
But no, just to piggyback off that, I do believe in the power of different roles within a team.
Absolutely.
I believe everybody, in football we call it your 111, right? Everybody has to do that 111.
111?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What does that mean?
There's 11 players on the team.
Oh.
On the field at the same time.
Right.
So
can y'all please put the camera on Jared? I don't know what that meant all the way. All right.
But no, in football we call it your 111. So I believe in order to be a successful team, if everybody does their 111, that there's no stopping us. But everybody has to have that winning mentality, that no excuses mentality, in order for us to do and to complete that 111. Because if we go 10 for 11 and one player busts, that could be a touchdown given up. That could be anything. That could be a sack given up. So you got to do your 111.
That's real. 111. So. I know what it means. You know what? That's interesting, Jay, because like, man, I'm looking forward to just complete a whole bunch of awesome things this year, and there is a team aspect of different characters, different energy, different commitments that you need. But I also look at it as an individual mindset with different perspectives. Yeah. I think the way that I've won in some things is not the same way that I've won in other things.
Absolutely.
Right? And going back to LeBron, some of you know who LeBron is. Some of my ladies are like, Chris, Jared, come on, stop. Let me break down LeBron a little bit. So he's probably one of the most criticized players I've ever seen in any sport. Ever. And he's probably the clean cut, no trouble outside of basketball, and he still gets the most criticism that I've ever seen. He'll have 4 people on him, and he'll make the pass to somebody that's more than capable of shooting an open jump shot, and he still made a bad play, right? But somehow he still wins. And here's the one that I want to kind of bring out there for the sports world and for those that have no idea what we're talking about.
Yeah.
LeBron James has been to the NBA Finals, I think 10 times.
He went for an entire decade. He made it to the pinnacle of his profession.
And he won 4 of them.
4, yes.
Here's the question for everybody. Is he considered a loser because he went to the finals, the hardest game to get to? He made it there 10 times, but he only won 40%. Is he considered a loser? What y'all think? Jared, what you think?
He's going to be considered a loser.
Wow. Because he won 40%. And Jordan's 100% because he went 6 for 6.
That's why, because of what he's matched against.
Okay. So let's go to the fitness goals.
Okay.
If somebody I'm going there. If somebody reaches where they want to be, but it's not better than what they thought it was going to be, are they considered a loser?
I don't believe so.
Why? What's the difference?
I think that let's call a spade a spade.
Yeah.
Public opinion.
Okay.
Because who's not going to feel like a loser is LeBron James.
You don't think he feels like a loser?
No.
Hey, can somebody call LeBron real quick? I want to ask him. No, I
don't believe he does.
I don't think so either. I think the reason why I feel that way is because, is it fair for Mean Green, the brand, to feel like a loser because we had to close down during the pandemic?
No.
Or the flood? Or, there were some difficult moments that we've dealt with where we had to shut down a weekend because something that we never thought in a million years would happened, and we had to be there, right? We're not considered a loser. So my thing is, why should LeBron be considered a loser? Because he faced probably some of the best teams that was ever assembled. Like, nobody's.
I do believe when LeBron is done with his career and we look back on, and when people actually finally get the accolades they deserve, the Hall of Fames, and we say, oh, LeBron played against this many Hall of Fame players. Right now we can't say that.
Can't.
Because they're not there yet.
They can't.
We can definitively say Michael Jordan played against this many Hall of Fame players, and Steph Curry, or not Steph Curry,
Hakeem or Patrick Ewing
Hakeem,
or
Shaq.
Yeah.
Like, they played against, because that's already in stone. Like, they're Hall of Fame. Right now, the people that LeBron is currently playing and have played are still at the height of their careers.
Absolutely.
They're not Hall of Fame players yet. So once it's all said and done, I do believe it'll be more definitive.
Absolutely.
And
that's my argument. Yeah. Because Golden State Warriors, the Green, the Curry, the Thompsons, and Durant's at the prime of their career, and then the San Antonio Spurs, he played against teams that we will celebrate as teams that were one of the best teams of all time.
Yeah.
Now, it's different if he'd have lost to a team that didn't win back to back to back. You know what I mean? But he didn't. So I think when we look at our current situation, I think sometimes we're so abusive to ourselves. Man, life freaking happens, but that don't mean you're not a winner. You made it to the destination, but maybe it wasn't Maybe it didn't match up to the way that someone's Instagram post looked, you know, or maybe they were.
I was gonna hit on that.
Oh, shoot, take it off. Let's go. I'm going to you on that one. What you got?
Man, you sitting here talking about winning, and that's just my. When it comes to comparison, we do it so much as a society, and that's kind of where I was going when I said public opinion. When you're looking down on your phone, you're part of that public opinion.
Yeah.
Right? Whether a person wins or loses kind of becomes an opinion. It's not even if they actually won or lost, it's an opinion.
Absolutely.
So it's like me right now going to whoever we just saw, old buddy that we saw at what was that? Level 1. Ken, Super Jack guy, right? I walk in, I see him, and you know what I saw him doing? Working his butt off.
Yeah.
To have the results that he had. So, but that's like me going and like, oh crap, I want that body. I'm losing. Like, you can't form your opinion off of a photo of somebody, because
sure.
we don't even know how real that photo is.
Yeah.
And then 2, you don't know what they're doing.
Absolutely. Or the amount of effort they put in.
Yeah.
Or how long they've been doing it.
Exactly.
You know, there's so many tangible things that people overlook. And
I the reason I say that as well is because how can we consider LeBron's mentality, him as I guess let me take a step forward into this. We don't know who LeBron is, what he's been through, what he's personally. We really don't.
Right.
But it has been coming to light as of late. People, I've heard people say like LeBron doesn't work as hard as Kobe and XYZ, and he's always in the gym. And then I've heard things as of late from LeBron's teammates that are not retired saying, "Man, I used to get to the gym. LeBron would be or I would get to the field house or to the arena. LeBron already broke a sweat, been in there for an hour taking care of his body, and I do believe that plays to the longevity of his career.
Absolutely.
And that's something that is unmatched. Like, nobody played 20 years. LeBron is still putting up 30.
Absolutely.
20 years later in his career. Granted,
Absolutely.
he just suffered that ankle injury, or foot injury, but that kind of boils into my point of for us to put ourselves against somebody without knowing the work, without knowing the behind the scenes is crazy to me.
Absolutely.
How can you say I'm a loser when you don't even know like what the other person has been through?
Absolutely.
I want that body. I'm not there. I'm not winning. What?
Absolutely.
So
it's ludicrous, right? It's I think that's such a fair conversation to kind of open up with, Jay, because social media is such an influence on our decisions today.
Yeah.
You know, I think more people wake up looking at their social media, looking at their Instagram, looking at their TikTok before they look at anything else. Before you freaking look at, some people wake up and look at their social media before they go make sure their kids are okay. You know, that's how much an influence that social media has on us. But the thing that I would love for everybody to kind of at least see my perspective on it when it comes to social media and comparing yourself is that when does it become healthy and unhealthy? And there's a sense of comparison where it is healthy for you, because sometimes I will look at the highlight tapes of other brands and I'm like, oh, no, they can't outwork me today.
Yeah.
So I'll post more on social media, or I'll read more, or I will invest more into learning, and I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
But it's when you make unhealthy decisions for yourself based upon comparison. Now, as we talk about who's the greatest, this is why it's interesting, because if LeBron, Mike, Shaq, those that we consider the greatest, they're not going to sit down and brutally attack each other based upon what they did and didn't do. Yeah. Can you imagine Mike sitting down with LeBron and saying, "You're not great"? Mike is celebrating LeBron James because he's great.
Yeah.
Right? If Shaq sits down with Akeem Olajuwon, he's not going to tell the Dream he's not great. He's going to celebrate the Dream for what he's did. Yeah. And I think that's where we as winners with an athlete mindset have to understand these pro athletes that we look at, we create such a illusion that they hate each other and that they don't support each other. And they're probably their biggest supporters and their biggest cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Now, take that in consideration with you and the things that you look at. If it's not that healthy, think about that. I seen a picture of this morning, Draymond Green and his wife, LeBron James and his wife, and they were at I think a gold party that Jay-Z and Beyonce threw.
Yeah.
They were two teams that literally supposed to hate each other, but here they are breaking bread. Now, that's healthy.
Yeah.
They compete against each other. They made each other better. Some won championships one year, others won the other year. But if you're competing against something that doesn't make you better and is not healthy, then why are you competing against them? Yeah. That's like LeBron James going back to Cleveland playing against a kid at the park. Why would you even take a chance of injury? Yeah. That doesn't make sense, right? So why are you competing against that? And I'm saying all that to try to tie it together and put a bow on it. Why are you competing against somebody's highlight tape on social media? How do you win against that? Yeah. How do you lose against that? There's no measuring tool to that. So I think the mindset of an athlete, for those that win in different ways, they compete and compare from healthy perspectives versus not competing when it doesn't even matter, if that makes sense.
Nah, I love it. I do believe the reason we as fans put that on them is because, honestly, I feel like we take on the persona of LeBron James.
Absolutely.
So, right? Like, we're online finger chatting. I'm a LeBron fan and you're a Draymond fan.
Yeah.
Now, we have this perspective of LeBron and Draymond don't like each other. So now, since I'm a LeBron fan, I don't like you since you're a Draymond fan. So now the whole world is this split. So to see them in the picture together, that's reality, to be honest with you. The reality is LeBron and Draymond
are boys.
They're boys.
They're boys. Right? They really are.
On the court, they going to go hard, right? I work hard for this, you work hard for this. Somebody got to win, and it's going to be me, right? That's the end of the day. That's how they compete. That's how they get paid. But also at the end of the day, when the suits, when the jerseys come off and the suits go on, they gonna probably be at a bar chopping it up, living their best life. And here we are arguing with each other because LeBron not supposed to like Draymond, and they over there having a glass of wine.
Exactly.
So I think it's pretty crazy because we do the same thing throughout life, right? Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose. There has to be a competitor. Somebody has to be better. Somebody has to be worse. I do believe that plays into the reason. I know we talked about the YMCA last time. I think there's the reason the YMCA tries to do that stuff. Somebody doesn't have to win.
Why did you bring that back up?
I just said
we was not supposed to talk about that.
To try to fuse that, but I do think at the same time, like, we just have to give ourselves a dose of reality at times.
Yeah.
Like, the reality is, they cool. It's a sport. Somebody has to win. Somebody has to lose. Does not mean like somebody. I don't know. It doesn't mean you guys have to hate each other.
Yeah.
Right? Just because somebody has to win and somebody has to lose.
Absolutely.
Hate does not have to be involved.
Absolutely.
Disdain, dislike does not have to be involved.
Absolutely.
So I think that kind of goes into, gym perspective as well. Just because, I don't know. I feel like that is a thing. Not necessarily in this gym, but to see success, to see failure. Like, I feel like that makes people feel some type of way, and people form opinions and all of that kind of stuff. I just don't think that necessarily has to be a thing.
Absolutely.
So I like what you said, like seeing other gyms, like it gets you going. Like, oh, I gotta let me get going. But it's also the way that you handle not failure or idolizing somebody, but when you see somebody doing something that you know and you're so like, I could be doing that.
Absolutely.
Let me go get it. And it kind of falls into what I said last week about learning lessons, right? Mm-hmm. If you take a L, is it really an L if you learn from it?
Right.
I don't believe it is.
Right.
So like I said, if you're looking on Instagram, and for y'all right now, because it might happen, right? You might look at somebody's picture and be like, dang, I wish I could, right? Or you might see a gym with 300 people in class, be like, dang, something like that. As long as you're learning from it, how can I make this happen? Yeah. Not dang, I wish I could. Now I'm defeated.
It's totally different.
How can I make this happen? It's like we don't even have this conversation if somebody saw somebody that was the exact body type they wanted online, but then their next move was, well, let me see what they eat.
Right.
Well, let me see how many times they work out.
That part.
Let me see what they exploit.
That part.
If now all of a sudden you're getting yourself a script, like, we're not having this conversation.
That part.
So, but
that's my belief. We got to roll that out because the greatest athletes want to know what the greatest athletes
absolutely
have done, what they've conquered, what's their pattern, what's their consistency, what's their diet. And I think that's healthy.
Yeah.
It's when the greatest athlete tries to dissect what they're not doing and, the media like them, or he's just tall, or he's just fast, or he's this color, or he's went to this college. Like, that's such a false narrative, right? I guarantee you Kobe Bryant, if we're talking about the Mamba mentality, never said Jordan or any of his competitors, he never said, oh, Akeem Olajuwon just lived in Houston and he don't have to pay state taxes in Texas, so that's why, because he didn't have the stress that we have in California. Like, that makes no sense.
At all.
But he did book sessions with Akeem Olajuwon to learn the footwork and post presence and different perspectives of what he's seen as a great player.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we do look at these people on social media or people at the gym, I think it's better to see, hey, what are you doing for success?
Yeah.
You know, and then mimic it or join them. Iron sharpens iron, and I think that's when you get better, is when you do that. So if you ever do face that, guys, that's kind of my suggestion to you.
Absolutely.
You know, dissect. We talked about Michael B. Jordan. Was that me and you, Michael B. And what's the guy that played in Creed? Can't think of his name.
Didn't get it last time, but I've seen a lot of him on social media.
Okay. I think actually it was yesterday. Me and Milton was talking about him last night and eating 6,000 calories, and he had to work out X amount of times to get ready for these roles. So, number one, he was getting ready for a role. He's not getting ready for a lifestyle, right? So, you pay me what he got paid to play whatever his name was in Creed and whatever he's playing in Avengers. You pay me that type of money, I'm probably going to eat
6,000
and work out the amount of times you've done and quit every other duty that I have to do, because that's what I want to create. But I think the thing that I would love for people to see is, like, even if you did want to create the success that he created in the amount of time that he created it, like, look what he actually did.
Yeah.
Like, don't think 6,000 calories is easy. That's a lot. You know, working out, let's just say he did it for 3 months straight. That's hard to work out at that intensity with that type of lifestyle, because it's not like, oh, I'm just get to work out and then I'm gonna go work on the script of Creed for 30 minutes. Like, you don't know how long they were in the studio. You don't know how many times they had to retake. You don't know how many times whatever could have took place and it delayed it. So I just like for people to see success from people and then look what they actually did to do it. And if you want to put that type of work in, then hell, put that type of work in.
Absolutely. The other thing I would say is also understand, like, when y'all hear what he just said, that's still big picture.
Absolutely.
6,000 calories is still big picture.
It's crazy.
Working out 2 times, 3 times a day is still big picture.
Absolutely.
Because then we got to really break it down. Okay, I eat 6,000 calories. How many calories per meal? Are you eating any snacks? How much water? How do you fit that into your body?
Absolutely.
How do you eat before workouts?
Yep.
Do you eat after workouts? How soon after? Like, there's so much more that goes into it. So, like I said, that's still just such big picture. But I feel like a lot of the times when we see stuff, we'll take big picture and then we'll run with it.
Because we just see the big picture.
Yeah, that's always it. Big picture. Like, we don't actually worry about the things that we need to do to get there still. You work out 3 times a day? Cool, let me go work out 3 times a day. Working out any 3 times a day is not going to work, right?
Think about it, Jay.
For what you're trying to do.
That's like seeing a picture of food and just saying, oh, I'm going to cook this without knowing the ingredients of how to cook it.
Yeah.
But it looked the same. It might not taste the way you wanted it to taste. And little things like you just said, is you think of the workout, you think of the workload, you think of the amount of times they have to eat and what they have to eat. But are you willing to cut out probably, say it took him 6 months to get the way he's jacked now. Say it took him 6 months, which means at half of the year it probably was spring and summer, or the other half was fall and winter, which means one of them was probably when everybody's traveling, going out, staying up late, going to different shows. Then the other half is like the holiday season. You got football. Yeah. He cut all that out because sleep and recovery is such an important role. If you're going to be eating that much and working out that much and you have a full-time job of being an actor and he has probably family, all that going out and hanging out, that's done.
Yeah, relax on that.
What? You going to sleep early? Like, if he's eating 6,000 calories, and let's just say he's waking up by 7 o'clock, he's going to sleep by 10, maybe 9, 10 o'clock every night. Because there's no way in the world that the body's going to perform at that effort without the amount of recovery that is needed.
Absolutely.
So look at those ingredients. Don't look at just, he jacked. He made millions of dollars. Nah, it doesn't go that way. There are some things that you're going to have to sacrifice along the way. So, again, my goal for everybody is to see that success comes with a system, right? And that system is a step and an ingredient to it. Don't just look at the big picture. Real athletes that really want to win, successful people in business, parents, Whatever you are, if you really want to win and you've won, is probably an ingredient to it. So don't think it just happens for certain people. No, there's an ingredient to it. And every true athlete that have won anything know that there's a lot of sacrifice, consistency, effort, and commitment to it.
Yeah.
So my 2 cents at least.
I definitely think that's real. Yeah, we gave y'all some stuff today.
From a sports perspective, that's the cool thing. Let's do this, Jay, as we wrap it up. I'm just kind of looking towards the future of what we're going to be bringing in podcast land for Mean Green Show. And I know a couple of names that we're bringing on. What do you think is the biggest thing as we kind of conclude mindset of an athlete? Do you think, I don't want to say names yet, but think of her. I know we have one lady so far. Was she an athlete? I don't recall.
Yeah, I have to get back to who it was. I don't know.
I know she look it.
She definitely looks it, but I don't want to.
She puts in the work.
Yeah.
So I wonder where that ingredient comes from, because we're using the athlete as an avatar, but there are so many go-getters for those. And think of you can be the mindset that we're using as an athlete. Think of that person for those that go to high school and went to college and got their master's or doctorate or whatever it may have been. That's a mindset.
Absolutely.
Right? Same thing for the person that's a stay-home mom. Man, y'all stay home with the green beans for 8 hours straight between 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. if y'all want to. That is a mindset, right?
I'd be curious, even though they didn't play sports. I'm just throwing it out there. If she did, I'm sorry. I'm not saying you did or didn't, but I'd be curious to know if their parents did.
Because it might be a pattern that they witnessed and seen. Because you think of the amount of people that we train as athletes, they may have never touched a sport, but they picked up our patterns or our tendencies. So it can be taught, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like, some people you are, I don't want to say you're born with, but it's also kind of like saying everybody's not an entrepreneur, right?
Okay.
It's just not. Some people have that resiliency in them, have that the drive, the passion. Some people have that in them.
That's
period. It's kind of weird to say. I hate to say like you're born with it or you're not, because I don't know how true that is.
It's hard, right? Because everybody's different.
What y'all think about that?
I'm curious what they think.
What y'all think about that? Comment below. I'm trying to see this one.
I know what I want to say, and it's not going to offend nobody. You can't get mad at Chris. I think the reason why certain people, and when I say this, just think about what I'm saying, because if I do offend somebody, I want you to take this into the right place. Jared and I did not make it to the NFL or the NBA.
No.
Okay? And that was a desire of ours. So when I say this, just remember I said that. Everybody's not designed to reach a certain level. Right? Like, I didn't have the perspective, the training, the consistency, or the speed, or the resources to make it to the NBA. Bottom line.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, as much as I wanted, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Right? And I say this for those that desire to have a mindset of an athlete or as a winner or as an entrepreneur or whatever your desire is. We're just using fitness as a tool today.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's not going to be able to do it because it's not the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, like, you can say you want to be an entrepreneur all you want. But if you never start or take a course or become coachable or never quit, like, the entrepreneur in you would never take place. Yeah. And that's okay, because everybody can't be entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
Everybody can't have the mindset of an athlete. And I think that's the beauty of podcasts, books, continuing education, seminars, workshops, mentorship, is because those small things, somebody's going to pick up on it and use it as an advantage, but everybody won't. I read this once, Jay. When somebody speaks, the person that listens and take no notes, there are 90-something% of them will not retain the information that they're hearing. 30% of the people that keep notes will retain the information. And then it was something like 70% of the people that actually talk back to the whoever the speaker is. If they talk, if they move, if they immediately respond. You ever read a book and they say, pause the book right now, take 5 minutes and write down your thoughts? That person will retain 70 to 80% of the information. So think about that. You can watch a Tony Robbins book, or listen to a Tony Robbins book, or read a Tony Robbins book, and he's giving you the same game he's giving everybody else in the world. But there's a certain percentage of people that's going to get it, and there's a certain percentage of the people that's not going to get it. So I'm trying to clean up and make it as soft as I possibly can, but everybody won't have a mindset of an athlete. Everybody won't have a mindset of a doctor. Everybody's not going to have a mindset of an attorney, because, man, those are extreme things that you have to go through to produce that mindset, and you have to be okay with knowing that everybody's not going to get that mindset. So hopefully that falls on great ground and encourages somebody. Like, that's honestly, that's conviction for somebody. Somebody's going to hear that and be like, hell, what Chris just said. I am going to be this. Great. I did my job today. Like, if I can put them in a perspective where it's like, no, I got to prove that right. Well, let's go. Game on. I like that.
What you just mentioned was actually scientifically proven. It's scientifically proven that if you use 3 senses to focus on information, you're more likely to retain it. But at least 3. So what you wrote down: hearing, speaking, speaking, and then writing. Yep. So if you include watching, listening to it, I don't know how you feel a book, but I
feel the spirit of God spoke to me, and I felt it. No, I'm just kidding.
But if you include those, 3 or more senses, you're more likely to retain information. So use that, guys. Like if there's something that you're trying to learn. Like for this podcast, for instance, obviously you're listening to it. There's something you like, write it down. And then when it comes to speaking, you don't necessarily, if you speak it out loud, yes, you're more likely to retain it. But if you go have a conversation with somebody about what you just heard, you're more likely to remember that as well. So
notice great speakers make you repeat or talk to someone. Yeah. So like if you ever went somewhere and they said, say you're at a fitness workshop and they're teaching you how to do an overhead squat, sometimes they would say, hey, tell yourself right now, big breath. What they're doing is helping you say that verbally out loud. So, okay, big breath. Yeah. Right? Or you ever been to a church and they say, hey, look at somebody and say, don't get too familiar. And you look at somebody and say, don't get too familiar. Speakers are trying to help you use your incantations to speak sound. Even sometimes I've been places where they make you smell things. Yeah. Because if you smell something, it takes you back to a place where you smelled it. So not to get too nerdy on you guys, but I said all that, Jay, to say that I'm curious as we bring some of our next podcasters on with us, what's their background with learning their mindset? Is that something that they were taught? Were they athletes and now they're rolling it out? Because I never had a job prior to Mean Green. I was a dispatch once for the university I was at. And it was overnight, and I didn't pay attention to anything else I was supposed to be doing. But my first job that I received in a global gym, I actually didn't get it. Initially, I know I didn't get it. He didn't say I didn't get it, but I was so. The interview bad when you show up and they tell you out of dress code. Like his name was JP, and I remember JP. I showed up to the interview, Jay, and he was like, "You're overdressed. You wore a suit to a training. I thought you had to be professional, right? Yeah. So I had a little suit, jacket." And he's asked me all these questions, bro. I just didn't have an answer for him, fumbling on my words. And then right when I gave up, I put my hands on the table, and I went to a workshop at HBU, and they once said, he said, this is what the speaker said. He was an athlete prior, I think a decade or two prior to me being there, but he's like, all of y'all are Huskies. Y'all are winners. Whenever you go, because all y'all have won some type of conference ring, make sure you wear your conference ring to your interview. So right when I gave up, I was just like, shh. I think I did this, or I put my hands on my head, or I put it in. I had 2 of my rings on. He's like, man, is that a class ring? And I was like, oh, no. There's 2 rings when we went to the national tournament. He was like, what do you mean? And I was like, yeah, went to HBU, and I played 3 years there. And every year we went to the national tournament. He's like, why are you only wearing 2? I was like, well, I didn't want to wear 3. It looks tacky. And it created a conversation. Yeah. Well, what was your role on the team? Well, I actually was a guard. I started. I was voted team captain twice. He's Googling me as he's interviewing me. Oh, I see one time you did that. And he just literally hired me based upon me having a certain mindset that maybe some of the people you interviewed that didn't have it.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting to is, man, the mindset that you have will help you achieve whatever you desire. The perspective that you have, I think, is your reality. I spoke about that this past weekend, actually. You know, putting yourself in a perspective can either help you in or help you not.
Yeah.
And hopefully the people that we bring on, we can kind of dissect their mindset and see what background they have and how they got that mindset.
Absolutely.
I'm curious, at least.
I'd be excited to see that.
Absolutely. So, Jay, man, I think that's all we have. You got anything left?
No, man, don't forget this Saturday.
Gonna be at it.
Yep.
I think we should all, like, who if there were 2 trainers, 3, because a lot of us, if there were 3 trainers between boot camp and both gyms, what 3 people should be on one side versus everybody?
What 3 people? Jason Miller.
I knew Jason was gonna be one of them
because I feel like Jason's gonna be the, what do you call it? Jason's gonna be the ball magnet, not in the way that.
Got it. We're gonna switch cameras.
Yeah, switch the cameras on.
On you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jason is the one I think that everybody wants to hit. So he's definitely number 1. The second person. All right, so we got, what is it, like the Joker? I just went to the rodeo, so I'm gonna use Jason as the professional bull. What do you call him? Bull.
The person that I know you're talking about.
Yeah, the one that, you know, you try to get the bull to run at him while the rider gets away safe. That's gonna be Jason. Jason, if you're watching this, I love you. I'm just talking mess. But that would be number 1. Number 2, who's an athlete? That would be number 2. I think that. I was about to put Jordan out there, but I think if we got Jordan on the podcast, he would probably be like, man.
man.
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. He actually is really good at dodgeball, if you remember last time.
He was.
He was really good at dodgeball.
Okay, that's why it came to my head. So number 2 would be Jordan, and then number 3, Milton.
All right.
I think that'd be. I don't know about you. Might be. You might be number 3.
Mention.
You and Milton would be the battle for number 3.
I think my 3. And first of all, Milton, they be tagging Milton every time he get hit in the head, he groin, he always get hit really hard somewhere. My 3, number 1, David Martinez.
D-Mar, okay.
David, they gonna come for you, bro. Your class, other trainers, the North Side, they all coming for David. I can see David being a high target person. Number 2. Jason
Miller.
Jason's in there in everybody's top 3. And then number 3, Christian.
There we go.
I think, you know, for some reason, because he had to stop people from coming in the gym and get their profile set up, or they didn't sign up. So some people they're gonna come for him for tough love. But I think
check that in.
Yeah, check that in. You said what? So I think those 3, Christian, David, and Jason Miller. None of us said ladies.
Harmony.
I'd be scared to throw the ball at Harmony. She just don't play.
Yeah, I don't know.
So Harmony, I ain't messing with Harmony. Walker.
Walker.
I guess we don't have a lot of ladies.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of ladies.
Faye. I thought about. No, Faye got hurt or something last time we played at a staff meeting. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
All right, we're all right. Now we're just spitballing. Hey guys, look, I hope we see you this weekend. Jay, you were amazing as usual on today's show. Guys, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We love you guys. We can't wait to see you next week. Y'all take care.